Aloha, I'm Jack Dugan with Pacific Media Group in Maui now. Today I sit down with Mayor Michael Victorino and Judge Richard Bisson to ask them some questions about important issues facing us all here in Maui County. Okay, next question is related to cost of living. The cost of living has always been an issue for our island community. However, it has been amplified by inflation and climbing interest rates. Costs have also been compounded by supply chain shortages. What are your solutions for bringing down the cost of living to make Maui more affordable to residents?
Well, of course, we need livable wages for our kama'aina. We also need viable career options for our youth. And we need to be very mindful of industry that we can create for our youth. And one of the things we should consider doing is, of course, mentoring and internship programs. We should develop our workforce right here on Maui. And I think we should start as young as high school, and of course, for sure, college. Industries that would interest our youth. We could also work in partnership with the University of Hawaii Maui campus, Maui College, to again look at types of industry that our youth would want to enter into. And those who go away to the mainland, we would want to work with them when they're home on their breaks, again, as interns. Anyone who receives a grant from the County of Maui on my administration will be required to have an internship program in there. We can't expect to have employees if we're not doing anything on our part to develop that workforce. So again, I think that's something we can do. Another way of going back to your cost of living part of your question is the county needs to manage its money better. We have increased our budget by over $400 million in this cycle. Over $400 million, that's incredible. Thinking we went from 800 million to 1.17 billion. And again, I think that's one area we can reduce cost of living is tightening our belt as government. You know, we need prudent spending. If we want to expect our citizens to make sacrifices because of supply chain issues, or have to pay more for their gas, pay more for their groceries, pay more for their utilities, then we need to show that same discipline as government, and I think be the example, and we need to be more efficient. And ways we could do that is we can leverage our monies by working closer with federal and state departments and agencies, organizations, take advantage of our nonprofits here. In other words, working with them, they provide a lot of services to our community.
Thank you, Rick. Next question, cost of living.
Well, first of all, one of the biggest issues is the affordable rentals and obtainable housing. Without that basic need being met, a lot of other issues occur. So what we've been doing is ramping up the housing initiative. I recently signed Bill 107, which limits the amount that you can pay for your mortgage. And that will help many of our working families be able to afford not only to rent, but now to even buy additional units that are becoming available. We've built 1,300 units over the last 3 years, and they've been occupied. We have 742 in the queue now that are being built, and we have over 5,000 in the pipeline that have been approved, are now ready to be started. We just started one up in Wailuku at the Wailuku Apartments. 324 apartments will be built on the corner of Waiale, Kuikai Highway, and Honapilani Highway, that across Longs and Fulen in Wailuku. And so I think this is a good start. We got to bring the housing and the price of housing and the price of rentals down. That's the start. When it comes to food, we start to grow here. We start to become competitive in growing up food and being able to sell it within our local markets here, our farmers markets and other areas. Right now, we are working on helping our food hubs. Our innovation center here at the University of Hawaii Maui College is up and running to sell value-added products. We also have a Department of Ag that will help mentor our farmers, help them to find USDA and FDA loans or grants that can help make them more stable. Also with water and other issues, we are working very diligently to make sure this will help bring the price of food down. And finally, taxation. I've always said this state has a regressive tax. That's a state issue now. The GET is a state issue, but we still must advocate for those elderly that they know and those who are disadvantaged not to have to pay GET on food and drugs. These are two key essentials that should help bring down some of the pricing of housing. And finally, we all have to work together to share. That's what we grew up. We didn't have much. We didn't go to the store to buy much, but we shared with our neighbors. And this is really another way of keeping the price of paradise down.
Thank you.